Hey guys, Kimmy Vapes here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Recurve RDA, designed by Mike Vapes and manufactured by Wotofo. Let's have a vape, go down below, and see what comes with it. Alright, so here we have the Recurve RDA, designed by Mike Vapes and manufactured by Wotofo. Here's the packaging that will come in. I like that they do this nice window here so you can see the RDA top cap, the drip tip color, as well as they include a space for the build deck separately so you can look through the window and see exactly what the build deck looks like. Opening up the box, you'll see that you also have a compartment for a spare 810 drip tip and a 510 drip tip adapter. Let's go ahead and take the top cap out. Now when removing the build deck, it is in here nice and secure, so what can happen is it can pull those O-rings down. So just make sure when you pull out the base for the first time, you check and inspect the O-rings, make sure they're all on there. And of course it does not come with a build pre-installed. I have been using this and I've really been enjoying this build, so I left it in there. Pulling out the tray, we'll see that we have a Phillips head screwdriver, a user manual, and the user manual is really nice. They include pictures on every page, instructions on how to coil and wick the RDA. I really like that they did a picture reference. And then of course we have the signature comp wire bags. So one of these bags is going to include all of your spare parts, which would be this bag that I have already opened. And that bag is going to include your regular 510 pin, since the squonk pin is pre-installed when you receive the product, and 4 spare Phillips head post screws, as well as some spare O-rings. The next bag is going to either have your cotton or coils. So there are the 3 very nice coils that Wotofo included. And last bag is going to have your cotton. So you'll get a nice strip of cotton included as well. And also in that first bag, you're going to receive 2 coiling tools. One of the tools is going to be 2.5 millimeters and the other one is going to be 3 millimeters. And the nice thing about the coiling tools that they included is they also act as a guide for cutting your leads. So as long as you cut your leads flush with the bottom of this bend, your coils are going to sit perfectly in the RDA. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at the RDA. The RDA measures 24 millimeters and has a 20 millimeter reduced chamber, so your actual build space inside is only going to be 20 millimeters. It is made of a stainless steel construction and comes in 6 color options. The colored resin drip tip that comes on top will be depending on the color RDA you choose. So for example, I bought the black Recurve RDA and it comes with a red resin drip tip. I also purchased the stainless steel and that came with a blue resin drip tip. And then for the black RDA, you also get a smoky black additional 810 drip tip. And on the stainless steel, instead of smoky black, your second 810 drip tip is a frosted clear. So you can see here it says Recurve on one side and it has that squished in appearance, which is also mimicked through the entire body of the top cap and the drip tip. It has a curve there. We turn it to the side, you'll see here is where the airflow is. Now it is a dual airflow RDA. It has 6 holes on each side. If we flip it upside down here, you'll see that it says Mike Vapes, Recurve, and Wotofo. And there of course is our gold plated squonk pin. We got top, you take it out. It is a goon style 810 drip tip with an inner O-ring, so all of your goon style drip tips will fit in here. So here is that small 20 millimeter build space build deck that I was talking about. As you can see here, it is a postless build deck with the post screws coming in from the flat side of the coil, which I like, is really nice. It goes front to back instead of coming in from the side, so your coils will stay nice and tight. It also has 4 postless holes, and that's so is that whether you wrap a coil right-handed or left-handed, you'll be able to put your lead, one in the negative and one in the positive. On the positive side, you'll see that the peak insulator comes all the way up to the top of this posts, and the posts are kind of like, to me it almost looks like a half pipe skateboarding ramp there, and the reason for that is the way that the airflow is designed, that those 6 holes, you see your bottom 3 holes almost come from the bottom, and then the second top row of holes come from the side, so it's almost like you're getting bottom and side airflow all in one. And those holes are also cut at an angle, so the airflow is angled downward at the coils. And what that actually allows for also, not only does that direct your airflow up under your coils, giving you really good flavor, but it also makes this practically leak proof in squonk mode. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. So the other thing, taking a look at the top cap, here is how you can see where we lose all of that space. This is a very heavy, durable top cap. It is 2 millimeters thick of stainless steel. And on the inside there, I'm not sure if my camera will be able to pick this up. Let me grab a little pointer tool. Here on the inside, right there on that side of the top cap, and vice versa on this side of the top cap, there is a little notch cut into that lip. And what that notch does is it prevents your top cap from spinning. It allows you to seat the top cap directly aligned over your airflow on the side of these posts, and when you adjust your airflow, it creates a stopping point so is that your top cap isn't constantly spinning around the deck, which makes it really easy to remove this RDA on and off a mod. So that's the one-piece top cap and the build deck. Let's go ahead and wick it up, and then I'll show you how it squonks. The coil that I have in right now is a 2.5 millimeter coil. Now, of course, as you can see, there's plenty of space. I can put a 3, a 3.5, and probably even a 4 millimeter coil in here. But keep in mind that the juice wells on here are not that big. So the bigger coil you're going to put in there, the more cotton you're going to need, and the more it's going to be choked off in those juice wells. So 2.5, 3, 3.5 millimeter, I think would be perfect in this atomizer. And I'm just going to cut my cotton to that first O-ring on the build deck. And I'll gently tuck my cotton into the juice well. Make sure you don't pack your cotton tightly into the juice well. You want that e-liquid when you squonk to be able to freely flow down into the juice while keeping your wicks nice and saturated. The e-liquid that I'm squonking with today is Spring Delight by Aria Elixirs. Just going to give the top of the coil a little bit of juice to get it started. Okay, now here's the fun part. We're going to squonk it. And I'm going to be able to squonk the e-liquid all the way up to that coil, and no e-liquid's going to come out of those air holes. Look at that. It just sucks it right back down into the bottle. And no e-liquid coming out of the air holes at all. You do it again. All the way up. And the only time you have to worry when your top cap is off and you do that, you can get some e-liquid spilling over from the sides there on either side of your cotton. But as you can see, there is e-liquid in the holes, kind of just sitting inside there, but it's not running out. And that's because of that downward angle that those airflow holes are cut at. So now let's go ahead and beautiful. And we're ready to squonk. Let's go ahead and put the top cap back on. So line up your airflow holes with those posts and seat it down. And when you seat it down, if it doesn't go all the way, that means those notches are not lined up correctly. So you'll just give it a little turn and it'll line those notches up. So once your notches are lined up and your top cap's completely seated down, you can go ahead and adjust your airflow, turning the top cap counterclockwise towards the right. We'll close off the airflow holes. Let's see if I can get that on camera. There we go. So you turn it and you're going to close it. And if you keep turning it past those two airflow holes, you're going to start to open two on the other side. And those two on the other side are actually pointing at your wick. So it does stop past that block to where it opens back up again. But then it stops and now you can actually easily unscrew your RDA from the mod without it spinning the barrel. Alright, so that's the Recurve RDA. Let's go back up top, have a vape, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Alright, and that was an up-close look at the Recurve RDA. So what are my thoughts? Well, I'm going to get this out of the way really fast. I am in love with this RDA. It has been amazing in squonk mode, and that's pretty much where I've used it. So let's get right into it. Let's go over the pros. Let's go over the cons. Okay, so first pro, of course, is gonna be flavor. This thing produces amazing flavor. For being just a little single coil atomizer, it gives great flavor. The reason why it gives great flavor, well, it's got this really reduced chamber. The outside footprint of it is 24 millimeters in diameter, but the inside is only about 20 millimeters. So that small compact space allows for all of that flavor to build up and come out of your drip tip, and it's just so good to squonk on. So that's the next pro. It is a great squonking atomizer. The way that Mike designed this RDA, it definitely shines in squonk mode. The airflow holes that he has set up, the way that they're in that half pipe kind of configuration, you got the three aiming underneath the coils and the top three coming to the side of the coil, and they're at that angled downwards, so they come up under your coil and up, and they just surround your coil to bring all of that dense saturated vapor up to you. The airflow in on it is slightly restrictive. This is not a Cloudsbro type of RDA. This is definitely for somebody that likes to vape a flavorful vape, that isn't as interested in lots of clouds or wide open airflow. On its full setting of 6 holes open, it is a restricted direct lung hit, and then of course as you close it down 2 air holes at a time, you can go to 4 to 2, and then I guess none. Well, actually you can't go to none, because once you get past that 2, it starts to open up on the other side, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But I find that I like it most at the 4-hole configuration and all 6 holes open. That's the sweet spot for me. Now, if you do want to close this down, I will say that the airflow is smooth all the way through, all the way from having 6 holes open all the way down to just 2 holes open. The airflow is nice and smooth. And the next pro is that it's very hard to make this thing link, especially in squonk mode. When you squonk on it, you can come all the way up over your coil, saturate your coil. The e-liquid comes back down through that squonk pin back into your bottle, and none of it comes out of the airflow holes, because again, that angled airflow coming down the tension and viscosity of your e-liquid allows for it just to flow right back down into the juice well. Now, it doesn't have a very big juice well, but this is a single coil low profile atomizer, so I wouldn't expect it to have a big juice well. But the juice well that it does have is nice and deep, so when you do squonk or when you do drip, you get plenty of liquid down there to your wicks that saturate them and can travel up to your coil. Now, the next pro for this, of course, is going to be that build deck. The way that he has the postless build deck set up, your coils coming from front to back, hitting the flat side of your coil means that it's going to not warp your coils. It's going to hit the coil, make great contact on your lead, and not twist your leads. You don't have to pre-twist your leads. Your coil goes in super simple, the easiest single coil build deck you can imagine. And that goes to my next point, the coiling tools that he included. With that little bend on that coiling rod, being able to cut and measure your coil leads without having to cut, check it out, cut again is great. Every time I just grab that little coiling tool, cut my lead right there flush with the bend of that coiling tool, and I know that my coil is going to sit perfectly for a great flavorful vape every single time. The next pro I have for you is the notch in the top cap. The fact that he made this a one-piece top cap, I was a little worried. I was like, oh no, it's another one-piece top cap. It's going to spin and spin. But he solved that problem by putting a notch on the inner side of the top cap that also makes connection with those two half pipe posts that come up. So when it hits that half pipe, it stops, and then you can easily unscrew your RDA without your top cap spinning. The O-rings, the fit and finish on this RDA is great. It's made of stainless steel construction, so it's heavy, it's durable. The O-rings have the perfect amount of tension on them. There really isn't anything I can find wrong with this RDA for me and the way that I like to vape. The way that I like to vape, this RDA fits every single thing that I look for in a nice single coil squonking atomizer. Now, I will say in drip mode, I feel like that this is not primarily a dripper RDA. Now, I do drip on it. Sometimes I get lazy. My squonk bottle is empty. I don't feel like pulling out my squonk bottle and refilling it, and I just drip through the center. And I can do that just fine because my coil is right down there at the mouthpiece. But you can over drip on it because there's not a lot of room down in there, not a lot of space. You can over drip and get a little bit of leaking out of those airflow holes if you're somebody that just blasts your juice down the center. But it's really hard to do, and I really think this makes a great dripping or squonking atomizer, and I'm in love with it. So where's my cons at? Well, I have one con, and that's more for Wotofo, and that is those stupid comp wire bags. I get tired of every time I get a Wotofo product, I've got 3 bags and I've got to open all 3 to figure out what's inside. I would love to see them just use clear plastic bags. Also, I love that they include coils in the box with the RDA, but I'd like to see those coils metals listed somewhere on the box or on the package. So that's my only con. If you like this video, you guys hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the little bell notification icon so you get notified the next time I upload a video. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.